Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, feel free to give me a follow to get updated on new and upcoming episodes, and listen in every Tuesday and Thursday, where I teach you smart money habits so you can make better money choices with a financial goal focus. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Modern Savvy CPA, and we are going to continue our series on bad money habits that businesses have and how to work on them, or how to make them better, how to recognize them. Because, I believe in everything that once you recognize something, or once you know that this is the way you are, that's the only way you can make it better. I've seen so many denials. I myself have been a denier when it comes to myself. So, when someone is criticizing you, I read something the other day, is when someone is criticizing you, take it as constructive criticism, whether it's meant to be or not. Because then you can think about what it is, and you recognize within yourself what it is that you need to change or you want to change. There are many things about myself that I accept about myself, but recognizing what these habits are, recognizing these bad habits is a part of you. So if there is a bad habit that you want to change, or you focus on changing, for example, I prioritize my bad habits. I'm always late. I'm not 2 hours late, but I might be 10 minutes late. And that's a bad habit that I have been proverbially trying to change. But it's really down on my list of priorities. It's one habit that I want to change, but it is down in the priority list of what are the habits that I feel like it's most important to change. But once I have admitted my bad habit and I'm more comfortable with it, I can work around it. You trick yourself into being early, you set the clock back. So once you recognize what those habits are, then you're able to work within yourself for those habits. So this goes for finance also. Part of the problem, and one of the biggest problem, is the starting problem, is we don't think we have a problem. We're broke and we don't know why. Our business is not doing well, but we're making so much money. These are all questions that have answers that can't be analyzed. As an accountant, as a lifelong accountant CPA, I analyzed the crap out of everything. That is one of the things that I'm good at. That is one of the things I love to do. I recognize if something is wrong when I'm looking at the overall picture. I look at the overall picture, okay, something's not right here. And then I start digging. And I dig and I dig and I dig, and I figure out what it is that it is. It works for my finances. It works for my clients' finances. When I used to be in the corporate world, that was what my boss always wanted me to do. He's like, okay, here's an account. It's off by blah, 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 blah. I need you to analyze it for the year. I need you to analyze it for the quarter, or something like that. I get down to it. I start working at it. And it's one of the things that I like to do. And it's one of the things that a good accountant, an experienced financial analyst will understand and will know how to do. And you want to make sure that when you're hiring tax advisors, financial advisors, CPAs, whoever you're hiring, that they're experienced enough to see the overall picture as to what the problem might be, and then digging deep on how to solve the problem. So the first thing that you always need to do, and the first thing that I'm trying to teach you when it comes to financial literacy, is recognizing what the issues are. So today we're gonna be focused on how a business should prepare for financial emergencies. So just like the home, we have financial emergencies in the home. We have financial emergencies in our rental property. We have financial emergencies in our business. So we have to have backup plans for everything that happens. We have to anticipate this when we're working. So successful businesses and businesses that are prepared financially, have thought about the different things that could go wrong and are prepared for it and have a plan for it will cost a lot less in the long run than you having to deal with something when you're not prepared for it. For example, when my dad passed away, the burial plot was 3 times as much as the one that my aunt bought for her when she passes away, because it's 25 years later and she's still alive, and she bought her plot at that time. So my dad passed away unexpectedly, and it cost 3 times as much for that plot than for her, the one that she bought at the same time, because she's planning ahead. I mean, that's not a really good example, but that was the first one that came to my mind where, you plan ahead. So even in death, you can plan ahead. I guess that's my point when it comes to that. So that's what we're going to be focusing in this section of our bad money habits that businesses have and how to avoid them, or how to create a better money habits once we've recognized these bad money habits. So one of them is not being prepared for emergencies. Now, of course, we don't have a crystal ball where we can look into it and we can tell you what all emergencies are, but we can have a plan. Having a plan is important. Sometimes the plan does not work out anything the way you planned it, but having that plan, you could always pull something from it. Being prepared is so important in every aspect of your life. Having a plan and being prepared, especially when it comes to finance, especially when it comes to business finance, you will go a far way, and it will make you a much more successful entrepreneur, and it will help your profitability. And one of the things that I focus on when it comes to my businesses is not so much their revenues. Revenues are important, but most of my clients know how to go out and get their revenue. They know how to build revenue, but their problem is, and their issue is, their hiccup is their profitability. And that is something where, if you analyze it and you understand, that is where your financial records come in. And that is where I can help you. That is where good accounting records, a good accountant, a good advisor can help you, is looking at that. You're good at your business. You're good at what you're doing. You're good at making millions of dollars of revenue. How much of that are you keeping? That's where your profitability, maximizing your profitability, comes in. So one of the things that I want you guys to have plans for is when there are emergencies. Now, what are emergencies that businesses have that comes about? Many of them that happens in our personal life. For example, we live down here in Florida, so we have natural disasters. We have hurricanes, we have tornadoes, we have fires sometimes, once upon a blue moon. We have floods. So we have all these different things. So that's one. Crisis. Unexpected crisis may include a terrorist act, a mass shooting, unfortunately, riots, lockdown in the area, loss of a crucial personnel. Sometimes, I have a friend right now that one of her employee who has been an employee in her accounting department, and a very crucial employee, husband and her went out for a motorbike ride and they both died. Now they're scrambling to figure out how many things this girl did and the things that, trying to hire someone to fit in those shoes. So that's another disaster that you need to plan for. Theft. There's many types of theft when it comes to our world today. There's the normal robbery, run-of-the-mill robbery, but one of the things that I'm noticing a lot with businesses now, and even in my industry, in the accounting industry, is cyber theft, cyber crimes. People hijacking your books, people hijacking your system. So that's one of the things that you need to look at and be prepared for financially. Also, equipment failure, depending on what type of equipment you have. Your office could get flooded. You could have power outages. we've had several things happen down here when it comes to storms, things like that. You might have lawsuits, you want to make sure that you're prepared for lawsuits. Financial disasters might happen, somewhere along the chain, there might be some type of a supply chain disruption. We've seen almost all of these things during the past couple of years. That's why I thought this was an important topic for us to cover now, and understand, so that this is a really bad money habit that businesses have. They have no plan, no financial plan, backup plan for disasters, because we don't think any of these things could happen. Of course, one of my motto is, prepare for the worst, but hope for the best. Always hope for the best. You're always hoping for the best, because an optimistic attitude is so important if you want to be a successful person. No matter what industry you're in, no matter if you're an employee or a business owner, an optimistic attitude is what's important. But you always want to be prepared. So you prepare for the worst and you always hope for the best. So, you want to make sure you're doing that. You want to make sure that you have a financial disaster plan for every aspect of things that could happen. One of the things that we talked about, that I just went over from this list, you requires insurance. For example, I have a cybercrime insurance for if my books are stolen, because that's something that you need these days if you're very reliant on your computer. I'm a tech heavy, it's called fintech for accountants now. If you think about it, we don't do anything by numbers. And if you are going to be an accountant, or you're going to be a CPA, or you're going to do anything in the finance world, you have to have technology along with your base knowledge. So your finance, accounting, business knowledge has to come with the tech savvy of part to it. So I think that accounting, tax advising, financial advising has to come with the tech savvy part of it. I don't think you can have one without the other in today's world. So one of the most important things is having that right insurance just in case something like that happens to you. Assess your business risk factor. So make sure you understand the first thing that you need to consider is that if something goes wrong, including a national disaster, you should consider these things. Things happen. It will happen. A lot of the times we can't avoid things from happening, but it's how we handle it when it happens. And having a plan, being prepared for unforeseen circumstances within your business is a very important thing in order for you to be successful in your business. And sometimes in order for you to be in business and not have a business failure completely. This is Sherron, the Modern Savvy CPA, and I thank you for listening and watching me, and I will talk to you next time on a next bad business habit that businesses can overcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, feel free to give me a follow to get updated on new and upcoming episodes, and listen in every Tuesday and Thursday, where I teach you smart money habits so you can make better money choices with a financial goal focus.